ever been told that everything happens for a reason while you're going through the absolute worst time of your life? Let's talk about that. This is the first video in my series on unmasking toxic spirituality, and we're starting with the basics. What is toxic spirituality? Why does it matter? Because spirituality can be amazing. It helps us heal, grow, and find meaning. But sometimes it does the exact opposite. What do I mean by toxic spirituality? Think of it like spirituality's messy evil twin. The one who preaches love and light, but still somehow makes you feel like everything is your fault. It's when spirituality is used to manipulate, control, or dismiss people's real struggles. And the tricky thing, it doesn't look toxic. Sometimes it's wrapped in aesthetic Instagram posts, high vibe only mantras, which, to be honest, I sometimes use them myself on my Instagram story, but discernment is a thing. Another shiny crystal shop when you're scrolling and you see those, hey, get this scoop and this scoop and this mystery box. That's just capitalism in another dress. A viral manifestation coach telling you that you just need to think positive, raise your vibration, and all your problems will go away. Let's start talking about spiritual bypassing, because it is everywhere. This is when spirituality is used to avoid dealing with real-world problems or emotions. Like I just said, everything happens for a reason. Just send some love. You just need to let go of your anger. What if your anger is valid? What if your pain isn't a lesson? It's just pain. I once had someone tell me during a really tough time in my life that I just need to surrender to the divine feminine. First of all, what does that even mean? Second, it wasn't helpful. I needed support. I needed a change of perspective, not weird metaphors. And third of all, I don't even identify as that. I am assigned female of birth, but I'm on the autism spectrum, so gender's complicated to me, and I hate that. Don't come to me, pretend to know me, and talk to me about divine femininity. There are people out there that connect to that concept. I am very far from that. That is... I don't have words for that behavior. It's just empty phrases that don't help anyone, but let you seem like a good person when you say those. Same thing is spiritual manipulation. Toxic spirituality doesn't just make people ignore their emotions, it also makes them easier to control. Enter guru culture, right? Why do so many, often male, spiritual leaders end up in scandals? Why do so many women and marginalized people end up following them? Because we have been conditioned over and over and over again to see men as spiritual authorities. And a lot of them are more than happy to take advantage of that. It's not just the big name gurus. Spirituality has been used to uphold power structures for centuries. Like, look at what the Catholic Church did over history. Let's phrase it like that. Think about how many spiritual teachings reinforce the same old ideas. Women should be submissive. Hardship is a lesson from the universe. Don't question the teacher. That's not enlightenment. That's patriarchy in a fancier suit. And another thing that often gets ignored in most spiritual spaces, spiritual psychosis. Spirituality can be life-changing, empowering, but if you're not careful, it can completely unground you. I have met people who are so deep in their spiritual belief that they lost all connection to reality. I once met someone who genuinely believed they were an archangel reincarnated. Look, I am, of all people, for exploring past lives, identities, but when someone starts thinking that being an archangel means they don't have to engage with reality anymore and shoves that into your face at any given point, then we have a problem. Spirituality should enhance your connection to reality, not disconnect you from it. When people start ignoring their mental health or refusing real-world help because they think they are ascending, that's not spiritual growth, that's dangerous, especially if they are bigger public figures, known figures, creators on the internet, etc. We all know examples about that where spiritual content creators claim to heal their liver or kidney issues just with meditating.
Whoa, kidney infection, I heal that too. I've been doing things your brain can't compute.
And promoting this is dangerous. That's again preying on marginalized people and promoting dangerous ideas. It can be threatening. Another thing in spiritual circles is absolute truth thinking. It's the idea that there's only one right way to be spiritual and to know every niche thing. I have had people tell me that if I don't follow their practice, I'm not really spiritual. I'm just a pretender. I would need to follow their specific rules to be enlightened. That's the same thing you see in organized religions. That's not the point of my understanding of spirituality. Some people say you have to be vegan or you can't be enlightened. Others say you need to meditate for X hours a day. And honestly, that's so exhausting. Spirituality isn't one size fits all. No one is right per se, including me. I could be wrong. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. But this is how I navigate my life and what works best for me. And for me, that means embracing all parts of myself. The messy, the mundane, the human experience. Always choosing the real world over magical thinking. That, to me, is the most important rule. There is, for example, this habit, if something happens, I don't know, I make a little witch bottle, it's in a glass, and then it falls down. Was it a mundane reason? Did I put it in the sunlight and inside was the vacuum, it got warmer, physics, crack, boom? Or was it actually in a constant environment and it was a sign? I do believe in science. There's more than we can, with our current knowledge, explain out there. I am spiritual. I read tarot. I believe in this. But still, if there's a mundane explanation over a magic one, that's what happened. Yeah, I could go on for forever. Especially with the people that think things have to be in a special way to be real. I'm a pretty decent tarot reader, but I have to look up some of those cards in the booklet still. I read tarot since I'm 15 years old. I am 40 now. Yeah, there were breaks in between, life happened, but like, just because I have a shitty memory doesn't mean I'm not a legit reader. And if you believe that, I don't want you in my life. I don't want you on this channel if you have such rigid thinking, to be honest. Was that harsh? I don't know. Why does all of this matter? Why am I talking about this? Because if we don't talk about this toxic spirituality, we let harmful ideas hide behind good intentions. And this rant is just the beginning. In the next videos, we are breaking down colonialism in spirituality, gender, New Age capitalism, and the not very light history of starseed beliefs. If that sounds like something you're into, hit that subscribe button because we have a lot to talk about. Spirituality can be a path to liberation, not just another way to reinforce the same old systems. So let's unmask it together. Subscribe if you want to keep driving into the series. We're just getting started. And comment your own experience and what topics I should cover. See you in the next one.